Welcome to Matco's PSI's Tech Tip for the Day. What we're going to do today is actually show you how to change oil. If you want to keep your engine running properly, keep it lubricated and from wearing out, we always suggest you follow the owner's manual and change the oil as much as possible. We always use Spectro oil. Spectro oil is a high-performance oil formulated for PowerSport engines. And I'm telling you what, you got a lot of metal parts in that engine and you want to keep them lubricated. Clutch, transmission, engine components. And so that's why we want you to pay attention to the tech tip and watch the video today. Let me introduce you to the technician of the day, Andy Parks. Hey Andy, how's it going? What are you doing, man?
Great, I'm looking at Spectro Oil's website to look at the technical data for some of the oil that we're going to use today to change the oil in our Kawasaki Concours.
Well, that's cool. You about ready to show the people how to change the oil on a motorcycle?
Absolutely.
Great, well let's get started.
So step one is going to be to warm the engine so that we can effectively remove as much of the existing engine oil as possible. So for the second step, we're going to move to the other side of the bike so that we can remove the drain plug and the oil filter and let the oil drain. So removal of this panel is not required as part of the service procedure, but we're going to remove it so that you guys have a better view of what we're doing. So now it's time to place our drain pan, and we're ready to remove the drain bolt and the oil filter and allow the oil to drain. As a habit, I like to remove the drain bolt first. That'll release more of the oil so that when you remove the filter, it doesn't tend to make as much of a mess. Okay, while we're waiting for this engine oil to finish draining is an excellent opportunity for us to take advantage of looking for any other maintenance related items in the vehicle that we might want to take care of. For example, clutch fluid, brake fluid, since Spectro's .4, final drive fluid, tire pressure, tire tread depth, things like that. Great opportunity while we're waiting for that engine oil to drain. Okay, so we're going to remove the old drain plug washer, clean the threads, make sure they're good as new and there's no debris left over. And then we're going to reinstall a new sealing washer. We like to use K&L hard parts. And now we're ready to reinstall our drain plug. So now we're going to wipe off the mating surface for the oil filter. We'll wipe off the mating surface for our drain bolt and sealing washer as well. Now we're ready to install our OEM oil filter as well as our drain bolt. So a good tip for the installation of any new oil filter, once you remove it, we want to apply a small amount of oil to the O-ring so that when it goes on, it's nice and smooth and doesn't leak. So to ensure that our drain bolt and oil filter are torqued properly, we're going to use Matco's ETWB 100F, which is their digital torque wrench that will do inch pounds, foot pounds, and angle. Now that we're ready to torque our oil filter, we're going to use our oil filter socket, and we're going to set our torque wrench to 13 foot-pounds, which is the manufacturer's recommended torque spec for this oil filter. One cool feature about this particular wrench, it will give an audible tone as a beep to let you know when you've achieved the proper torque. Now that we have our torque wrench set for the specification on the drain bolt, we're going to torque that and listen for our audible beep. Now that we've got the drain plug and the oil filter installed and torqued properly, now it's time to move to the other side and fill it with oil. So I'm going to remove the oil filler cap. I'm going to wipe any residue and debris that may have built up around this sealing surface. And I'm going to fill it with oil. Okay, and now we're just going to pour the oil in and we're going to watch the sight glass to make sure we don't overfill it. For our final step, we're going to start the engine again. We're going to let it warm up some more. We're going to let it idle for a few moments and fill up our new oil filter. And then we're going to shut it off and let it sit for a few moments and then double check our oil level and top it off if necessary, and then we'll be done. So as you can see, after our engine sat for a little bit, once we let it idle to fill up our dry oil filter, our engine oil levels dropped a little bit, so we're going to need to add a little bit of oil and top it off, and then we're finished. We'll wipe it off, detail the vehicle a little bit, and we're ready to ride. And that concludes our tech tip on how to change engine oil in a motorcycle. I'd like to thank Spectro Oils, Kawasaki Motor Corporation USA, K&L Supply, and Matco Tools for making this possible. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy more of our tech tips in the future.